I'll talk about soluble salts and insoluble salts in 1 minute. How can you know salts that are insoluble and salts that are soluble? So look at this. SNAPE, SNAPE. All SNAPE salts are soluble. So I said all SNAPE salts are soluble. What do I mean by SNAPE salt? Any salt that has sodium ion. What is sodium ion? Na plus. Na plus. Any salt that has sodium ion is soluble in water. Alright. N stands for nitrate. Nitrate ion. Any salt that has nitrate ion, which is NO3 minus. Alright. Any salt that has ammonium. Ammonium ion. What is ammonium ion? NH4 plus. Any salt that has potassium ion is K plus. Alright? Any salt that has K plus is soluble, and E stands for ethanoate. Ethanoate. Ethanoates are salts of organic compounds. Alright, ethanoate, and for example, sodium ethanoate. Alright, sodium ethanoate, which is also soap. You can see that soap can actually, you can dissolve it in water. So sodium ethanoate is so ethanoate is also soluble in water. So that's the first one you want to. So let me give you the formula for ethanoate, like this: COO minus. Alright, so if I add sodium to this would be sodium ethanoate or sodium arcanoate. So these are arcanoate. Alright, next. Look at this. If you have CHAP. CHAP. What is CHAP? CHAP means all carbonates and all hydroxides. All carbonates and all hydroxides are soluble except A stands for silver, Ag, and P stands for lead, Pb. So all carbonates are soluble. Take note of that. All carbonates are soluble, all hydroxides are soluble except for silver and lead. Next, backup. Backup. What is backup? For backup, that is for sulfates. For this is for carbonates, all carbonates and hydroxides. All carbonates and hydroxides are soluble except silver and lead. Backup, all sulfates are soluble. All sulfates are soluble except for backup. Bar is for barium. Barium sulfate is not soluble. Calcium sulfate is not soluble. Lead sulfate is not soluble. So these are sulfates. So all sulfates are soluble except for backup. Right? So what about for nitrates? We have talked about nitrates here, so all nitrate salts are soluble. All right, so nitrates, chlorides, sulfates, carbonates. I've given you for carbonates. So for chlorides, for bromides, for iodides, all the halogens, the salts of halogens. All right, they are all the chlorides. CAP, just master CAP. What is CAP? CAP means all chlorides, bromides, iodides, all right, fluorides, they are all soluble except for silver and lead. That's AP, right? So silver and lead are not soluble. So these are the chlorides. So for your salts, you have chlorides, you have sulfates, you have carbonates, then of course you have ethanoates, all right? You have nitrate salts. So all of this is how to summarize soluble and insoluble salts. So let's see these examples. Which of the following are insoluble and which of the following are soluble? So you have NaNO3, that is sodium nitrate, sodium sulfate, right? Then lead 2 chloride, then silver nitrate. Then let's look at we've done sulfates, we've done chloride, we've done. Let's look at carbonate. Calcium carbonate. Carbonate, then hydroxide, calcium hydroxide. All right. So which of these are soluble in water? Which are not soluble in water? For carbonates and hydroxides, most of them are insoluble except for the snap salts among them. What do I mean by the snap? From the snap carbonate. So sodium carbonate is soluble, same as sodium hydroxide. Then ammonium carbonate or ammonium hydroxide is soluble. So the snap carbonates and hydroxide. So all carbonates and hydroxide, most are insoluble except for the snake, all right, which are soluble. However, take note of this silver and lead as well. They are not soluble at all. So they are not soluble. These two are not soluble, in addition to the fact that most of them are insoluble except the snap carbonate. All right. Now you were given these questions. You were asked to solve which of the following are soluble, which ones are insoluble. You remember we said all sodium salts are soluble. All sodium salts. So if all sodium salts are soluble, then this is soluble because it's sodium nitrate. This is soluble. This is sodium sulfate. So they are all soluble. We also said all nitrates are soluble. So silver nitrate is soluble because all nitrates are soluble. And then we said for carbonates, CHAP means for carbonates and hydroxides. They are all soluble except for silver and lead. So they are all soluble except silver and lead. So if you come to calcium carbonate, it is soluble. Carbonates are soluble except for silver. So this is soluble as well. All right. Then for hydroxide, we said all hydroxides are soluble except for silver and lead. So that means calcium hydroxide is also soluble. It's soluble to a level, all right, but it's still soluble. It's not readily soluble, but it's still soluble, right, compared to sodium hydroxide, which is an hydroxide of sodium, which is readily soluble. So all of these are soluble. What about the chloride? We said all chlorides are soluble except lead chloride. So this is the only one that is insoluble. So the question says which of the following is insoluble? The correct answer is lead 2 chloride. Lead 2 chloride is insoluble in water. I hope that is clear.